Mr. John Brammer, who is currently visiting his daughter and her family who live in Bahrain. Welcome to Bahrain Television, Mr. Brammer.
Thank you.
Is it a long time since you came here?
Oh, I first came to Bahrain when I was a young man in 1947. I was then an engineer in Qatar for the Iraq Petroleum Company. And I came over here to inspect the electricity in the state of Bahrain at the invitation of His Highness Sheikh Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa.
Yes, and I believe Sheikh Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa made you the state engineer to Bahrain.
Yes, eventually I came back again and he made me his state engineer so as to build up the power supply, which was in a very poor condition in those days. And I came and my wife and family came with me. We settled here and I found it a very challenging position.
Yes. Where was the first power plant, was it then, in those days?
Well, the first power plant was at Ras Roman. It was a small, very old-fashioned diesel station which had been started up around about 1930-31 and was then in a very poor state when I found it. It was there on the edge of the sea, simply because that was the place where they could bring a barge down from Abadan with fuel oil to keep it going.
Oh, I see. And it was your job to pull it up to scratch?
Well, it was my job to make something of it, and the demand for electricity was increasing every day. We made the best thing we could of it by making spare parts. We placed orders for new diesel plant, the reason for diesel plant being that it was quickly obtainable.
Yes. Apart from electricity, you were in charge of other departments, I believe, Mr.
Oh yes, I was the state engineer and I had everything to look after in the engineering line, such as telephones and water. Even roads came under me in those days, transport and so on.
You must have been a very busy man.
Oh, it's a very busy job indeed, and I even had if you remember, after the war, most things were in short supply, and one of my jobs then was to issue licenses for the sale of car tyres, of all things.
Yes. How did people manage in the early days without electricity in their homes? In a climate like this, it seems...
Well, it was rather an exhausting climate. Many of us suffered from prickly heat and heat exhaustion, but people managed by using kerosene for their refrigerators and kerosene for their cooking. Lighting was there was a limited amount of lighting from the power station, but of course the power was off more than it was on.
Mm-hmm. But there weren't many expatriate people here then?
Oh no, in Manama I think there were 26 or 28 of us at that time, expatriates.
So, to get back to your actual job, what happened when the plant that you first came to, what happened when this became full?
Well, we managed to keep the Ras Roman power station going until it was literally packed with diesel engines of the old-fashioned type, very hot and very difficult to keep it going. And after that, we quickly began to see that more and more electricity was wanted in this quickly becoming a modern state. More electricity was required, and we planned the new power station at Jufair. And we were fortunate in that Babco, the oil company, gave us natural gas to use for that power station.
Yes. Was this one of the first in the area? Or?
Oh, the Jufair power station of those days was indeed the first public supply of electricity came from it, and it was the first one in the Middle East from
the
natural
whole
gas.
Middle East?
Yes.
Mm. When was that? 19...
Oh, we got the first gas turbine around about 1954, and we ordered more and slowly built the whole thing up, and it was very successful.
Yes. Did you have a big waiting list for power?
Yes, at that time, when we made this decision about natural gas, we had a waiting list of over 3,000 people for electricity.
And did you manage to cope with these 3,000 at Jufair?
Yes, we worked hard, and we went out and laid our overhead lines and various things into the villages, and we coped with it as far as it went in Jufair. Again, Jufair was again extended, and there was no end to the problem of the demand always exceeded our supply. I think it's true today, the same thing.
Was the Jufair power station officially opened?
Yes, His Highness Sheikh Salman Ahmed Al Khalifa, he came in 1958 when we had a very great ceremony of opening. We'd invited the institutions of civil and electrical and mechanical engineers to meet here, and they had a conference here. Combining with the opening of the power station, after the ceremonial opening, they had a 2-day conference, and His Highness very kindly lent us the Grandad Palace for this business.
Oh, yes. Must have been very exciting, all
Oh, it was a very exciting time, yes. The culmination of years of work, effort.
Yes. So the development of the rural areas continued, and I understand His Highness Sheikh Salman kept a close eye on your progress.
His Highness Sheikh Salman's idea was for electricity, and he constantly told me, instructed me that it was the idea of electricity was to be in Bahrain was that it was for his people, that every one of his people should have it, that it should be cheap and plentiful. And I think largely by the end of my time here, I'd achieved that, as far as it went at that time. Of course, since then there has been much more development.
Mm-hmm. So what happened next? Did you still kept expanding?
What happened next is that we continued with our development of the rural areas.
Mm-hmm.
A certain amount of small industry was brought into it. Mina Salman was started, and the industrial area there we supplied with electricity. And this sort of thing went on until I left in 1962.
That was when you retired?
Yes, I retired from Bahrain then.
And here I feel forced to tell our viewers that in Britain, in the Queen's Birthday Honours List for 1963, Mr. Don Brummer was awarded the MBE for his work in Bahrain. That must have really rounded off.
Oh, that was a great honour for me, because it didn't just honour me, it honoured the staff that had been so loyal through my period here, and I considered it an honour to them too.
Yes. Now, Bahrain's in the middle of celebrating a 50-year anniversary, and I understand that you've just had a personal anniversary.
Well, yes, that's quite true. Ruth and I, my wife Ruth and I, we have recently celebrated our golden wedding, our 50th anniversary of being married. We live in Spain now, and we had quite a celebration. Our daughter was there, and all our friends gathered round, and we had a wonderful time.
Mm-hmm. And, well, I feel sure that the people who know you in Bahrain would join me in wishing you all the very best.
Oh, thank you.
And congratulating you on 50 years of marriage.
Thank you very much.
Well, finally, I'd like to thank you for coming along to the studio and talking to us. It's all part of this great celebration that we're having, and we're very lucky that you're in Bahrain at this time. Anyway, to coin a phrase, you've helped us cover the time since Bahrain switched to electricity.
Yes, of course it's not the whole story, but it's quite a good portion of it.
Well, thank you very much anyway, Mr. Brown.
Thank you for having me.
Very much indeed.